Okay, good afternoon. This is our lecture video number 4, and we will be discussing problems about our last handout uh, concerning IFRS 15, in particular long-term construction contract. And later on, we'll be discussing some reminders about franchise. So let us start with problem 2. The problem is quite long. So this includes everything. So I think sulit ito. So as we read the paragraph, so let us discuss the items mentioned. So starting with the first. On January 1, 2020, Gonzalvo Development Corporation entered into a contract with Buena Vista Company to construct an oversized warehouse with showroom on property owned by Buena Vista Company. Gonzalvo determines that control of the warehouse is passed to Buena Vista Company as it is constructed. So it means revenue is recognized over a period of time. So as the asset is being enhanced or created as it is constructed. The contract price is 35 million, that is the fixed consideration, but that amount will be reduced or increased depending on when construction of the project is completed. So the first variable consideration is about a reward for early completion and a penalty for delay caused by the contractor in particular. For each week before the due date, which is December 31, 2022, so the project is expected to be completed within 3 years. So for each week before the due date that the building is completed, the promised consideration will increase by 1 million too. And for each day after December 31, 2022, that the building is incomplete, the promised consideration will be reduced by 1 million as penalty. So, okay. In addition to the reward for every week of early completion and for a penalty of 1.5 for every day of delay, the second variable consideration is about 3.6 million as incentive will be given to the contractor if the interior of the warehouse with showroom is completed within 18 months, a little below 2 years. So the said project has an expected cost, meaning overall in year 1, the expected cost of the project is 24.8 million. So that is the first paragraph. Then moving forward to the next. At contract inception, Gonzalvo Development Company cannot conclude that it is highly probable that a significant reversal in the amount of cumulative revenue recognized will not occur with respect to the 3.6 million. So the 3.6 million incentive for the interior of the warehouse being completed within 18 months or less than 2 years, at least for year 1, is not safe. It is not safe to include in the total contract price. So, including 3.6 may be reverse, maybe may not push through. So therefore, overall, it is not safe to include, at least in year 1, the amount of 3.6. Another reason, as mentioned in paragraph 2, is that completion of the warehouse is highly susceptible to factors outside the entity's influence, including weather and regulatory approvals, and the entity has limited experience with similar types of contracts. So again, it is not safe to include the second variable consideration, which is 3.6. Third paragraph is about another variable consideration, the third. Again, the first consideration is the reward for early completion or penalty for delay caused by the contractor. The second consideration is about the 3.6 incentive for the interior of the warehouse being completed in less than 2 years. And the third consideration is when the warehouse is completed, it will be inspected and assigned a standard quality level. If the warehouse achieves the level specified in the contract, then there will be a reward of 6 million. At the end of year 1, Gonzalo determined that the expected value approach better predicts the variable consideration as to 6 million. So, it will receive regarding the... Okay. With regards to 6 million, it is the most likely amount. So, it's either we meet the specified quality level in the contract or not. So, but for the 6 million, at least in year 1, it is expected that we will achieve the level specified in the contract. So, it is most likely that the 6 million reward will be given to the contractor. So, by the end of the year, Gonzalo determined that the expected value approach better predicts the first variable consideration with regards to the early completion and delay. So, there are a range of possible outcomes based on the current construction schedule and its experience on similar contracts based on past projects. One possible outcome is that the project will be completed 2 weeks ahead of schedule and receive an incentive a total of 2,400,000. That is 60%. So, 1,200,000 for each week of early completion times 2 weeks, 2,400,000 plus the base, the fixed consideration of 35 million, a total of 37.4 times 60%. Then considering the probability weighted amount, the amount is 22,440,000. For the second possible outcome is just to finish the project on time. Then 35 million times 30%, 10,500,000. And the third possible outcome is 10% chance to complete the project 5 days past schedule and incur a penalty. So 1,500,000 for every day of delay times 5 days. 7,500,000 deducted from the 35 million fixed consideration. The probability is 10%. So 2,750,000. So therefore, 22,440,000 plus 10,500,000 and plus 2,750,000, considering the probability of early completion and delay and just on time, the contract price is 35,690,000. On year 1, it is not safe to include the incentive related to the interior of the warehouse, 3.6. So it's not safe to include that amount. And in year 1, it is safe to include 6 million because most likely we will achieve the targeted certification level as to quality. So the contract price in year 1 is 41,690,000 less the total estimated cost, which is 24,800,000 in year 1. So the expected gross profit in year 1 is 16,890,000 times the percentage of completion, which is based on cost-to-cost method. The numerator is the cost incurred in year 1, which is also cost incurred to date, 14,880,000 divided by the total estimated cost in year 1, 24.8 million. So that is 60% percentage of completion. So in year 1, the RGP to date as well as the one recognized in year 1 is 10,134,000. 10,134,000. Okay, so in year 2, it was mentioned that there was a project, a contract modification, a contract variation because of a change in design, increasing the contract price by 5 million, increasing the 35 million to 40 million, and the total expected cost from 24.8 million, it increased by 7,040,000. So also in relation, in year 2, the 3.6 incentive is now safe to include because it was extended, or the contract was extended by 4 months. So from 18 to 4 months, that's already very close to 2 years to finish the interior at least of the warehouse. And based on experience, and the remaining work to be performed, which is already primarily inside the warehouse, not subject to any weather conditions. So it is now safe to include the 3.6. Then at the end of the year, year 2, still the 6 million is safe to be included about the certification, quality level. But as to early completion and delay, it is now 80% probability that the project will be completed in 2 weeks ahead of time, and 15% just on time, and 5% to complete the project 5 days past schedule. So, okay, 1,200,000 is the reward for every week of early completion times 2 weeks, again 2,400,000, added to the new fixed consideration 40 million. Probability is 80%, so that is 33,920,000. While the probability of finishing just in time, so 40 million, the new fixed consideration times 15% is 6 million, and the probability of being delayed for 5 days, a penalty of 7,500,000 deducted from the 40 million, so 5%. All in all, considering the probability of early completion and delay and just in time, the contract price is now 33,920,000 plus 6 million and plus 1,625,000. The contract price is now 41,545,000. Okay, then add the 3.6 incentive, which is safe to be included in year 2. Also the 6 million certification, quality level, reward. So all in all, our contract price in year 2 is 51,145,000. Deduct the total expected cost, in which again increased by 7,040,000 from 24.8 million. So now 31,480,000. So the expected gross profit in year 2 is 19 million. So with 51 million 145 less 31,840,000, 19,305,000 times 70%. The percentage of completion is now 75%. Cost incurred to date divided by the total estimated cost. The cost incurred to date is 14,880,000 plus 9 million, 23,880,000 divided by the total estimated cost in year 2, 31,840,000. So 75% of 19,305,000. The RGP to date year 2 is 14,478,750 less the RGP in year 1, 10,134,000. So our answer is letter C. Okay. 4,344,750. Then, for problem 1, of course, after problem 2, problem 1 seems to be easier. Compute the total transaction price. So just take note of the 3 possible outcomes. The first outcome is 60% probability that the contract will be completed by the agreed upon completion date. So in addition to the fixed price, which is 45 million, it will be increased by a variable consideration of 20% of 45 million or 9 million. So 45 million plus 9 million, which the project will be completed on time. The probability is 60%. So there is 32.4 million. 32.4 million. Then the second possible outcome is 1 month earlier. Then the variable consideration will increase by 5%. So 9 million times 1.05. This time the variable consideration is 9,450,000 plus the fixed consideration of 45 million times 0.25. So that is 13,612.5. And the last possible outcome is completion 2 months ahead of due date. So, 9 million times 1.10. The variable consideration is 9 million 9 plus the fixed consideration of 45 million times 15%. That is 8 million 235 plus 13 million 612,500 and plus 32 million 4. So the answer in problem 1 is 54,247,500. Again, please be guided with the copy of the handout provided to you, the solutions shared with you by 5A and 5C. So this is just a reminder, so you can also hear my explanation. So again, good luck, and our lecture 5 will focus on reminders regarding IFRS 15. So please just relax and wait for that next video. Good afternoon.